Happy Friday. How's your week been? So today, we listen and we don't judge. I had great intentions in my son's room whenever I originally made that bed. I thought I'm going to throw a loft bed up because we only had a little bit of time and he needed a bed frame. So I was like, let's make a loft bed. Did that. Had intentions of coming back that summer, staining it, finishing it, making it look nice. Never got around to it. Also, it takes up a lot of space in his room because it's a full size. And he has a small bedroom. It's from our house was originally built in the 1980s. I think and don't get me wrong, this room is a good sized room. I am not complaining because there's much smaller rooms. But it is a 10 by 10, I think, and it is not that big. So we are going to drop him down to twin-size bunk beds because, sometimes he has sleepovers and he needs the extra bed. And what was in his floor was a mattress for sleepovers. Also, I do keep a random mattress so that way when people come to stay the night, because I feel like you can make good palettes in the living room with that. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's more fun if you have a mattress. If you can have a mattress. Not everybody can have a mattress. It's totally fine. But it's not easy storing one. In fact, I stored that in my closet for the longest. But that way, whenever their friends come over, they have something to sleep on. I don't know. I just want them to feel welcome and cozy. I know whenever I was a kid, I liked the idea of a sleepover, didn't actually like sleeping over. So I just try to make sure that it's extra friendly for those who are coming. But so anyways, we are going to do twin size bunk beds, and we're going to make it more roomy in his room. Because like I said, 1980s, smaller rooms. No, I'm very grateful for our rooms. They're not complaining, just going to make them work better. So we're going to get this sanded and stained. We're going to reuse a lot of the wood from his previous bed. But we're going to actually finish the project this time. And it's going to look amazing. So I'm going to get this sanded. We're going to get it stained because I'm going to go ahead and get that done before I put it in there. Because if not, it stinks. And then we are going to go through which I don't bring you along for that. We go through, because I have him in there. And we go through and get rid of a couple of bags. We donated, I think, 2 full garbage bags of just toys alone. And then, although I do bring you along for the cutting and the sanding, I don't have a lot of me putting the bed together because they helped me, which was really fun. I really enjoyed having their help. It was kind of cool watching them help figure out how to use, especially my boy, he's the youngest, so he was helping us level the bed and stuff, and it was kind of fun. And he learned how to use a level and all things. He's good at it. He also is really good at helping my husband back trailers, so it's real fun. Well, my husband's obviously the one backing the trailer. My son's just giving him directions. But so anyways, I'm going to get this sanded, and then we're going to move into the room. And by the time you see it, I think the first bunk is already done and assembled. I did have to move the second bunk down. I put it a little too high, and to be honest, I was 2 reasons. There wasn't a lot of room up top, but also the second reason was because the mattress was thicker than I intended or what I planned for, that the safety rail, I didn't feel like was going to work properly. So we move it down a little. But so anyways, I'm going to get this sanded, and then we're going to move inside and start cleaning off some shelves. I am not gonna lie, I've had the best intentions to get in this room and wash the walls and do all the things, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. So today is the day. I did go ahead and wash the walls prior to installing the bunk beds in that corner, and I just kind of been working my way around. But so I went ahead and got all of the baseboards scrubbed, the walls washed down, because I'm not gonna lie, they were looking pretty rough. They were nowhere near as bad as my living room though, so I was actually kind of happy about that. But random. So the little nightstand you just seen, I was so excited about that. I got that at the thrift store and it looks so good. And I mean, some people would probably say it's the orangey wood or whatever, but honestly, my son loved it. In fact, like I was saying in my last video, that he actually picked it out. He saw it and he really liked it. So I was excited for him to get it because I thought it was cool. He usually don't pick things like that, like furniture and stuff. Like, yeah, he picks his toys and what he likes and things, but he usually, like, he's totally cool with whatever. Like, I asked him, I said, son, do you want to repaint your room? You can pick whatever or do a different color. And he's like, no, I like my green. I was like, okay, cool. So, he's very chill, very laid back, but I thought it was pretty cool because he liked that. So, that nightstand a lot. And I actually was kind of like made me think of like a camping cabin vibe in here. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know, just all the wood and the green and stuff. So I thought it would be cool. I also thought it would be a good idea to put like his little books over here on his nightstand. So that way if he wants to read at night, he can. So I got those put on. And they actually all fit in here and it worked really well. I liked how this worked and it freed up a shelf. But I was really excited to find this nightstand, and I also got a matching dresser. It's the same style and all the things, and it looked really orange outside, but it actually looks more wood tone in his room, especially by his bed. So I was super happy about that. But so I'm going to go ahead and get this all wiped down. I'm going to go ahead and wipe these shelves down because my daughter's shelves, they're both from Walmart, the mainstays, but they used to make the shelves larger. And now they've made them smaller, of course, to save on cost and everything. And I'm going to get those wiped down. And I'm going to switch the shelves from her room and his room because she's getting a longer desk. And that way it gives more room for her desk. But I'm going to get this dresser wiped down. And so I can bring in this one out and bring in the new dresser. I'm going to use this one in the dining room for now because I have one of the dressers that the drawers keep falling down in there until I fully figure out what I'm going to do over on the wall by the window. But so I'm going to get these pulled off and then wipe down the shelves and get those switched. And then hopefully we're going to start getting things put back where they go because it's a little chaotic. So I'm not gonna lie, They were dirty, but they were not as dirty as my living room walls, so that wasn't up because I honestly thought they were going to be atrocious. I honestly cannot remember the last time I washed these walls, and I don't know if I've washed them since they were green, honestly. So I'm going to take that as a win. Again, we're going to get these wiped down. These are from my daughter's room, and they were pretty dusty. She likes Legos. I think everybody in my family likes Legos. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of cool, but I'm not like super into them like the rest of my family. My husband, he has his collection, my daughter has her collection, and my son has his collection. She really liked Lego Friends when she was younger, and then she got into the Harry Potter, and she doesn't really care for them that much anymore, but she likes still having them on display. Like, she doesn't play with them or anything. They're strictly display. My son's kind of like that. Like, he likes to build and display his like builds and stuff. He does still play with them. It just depends. Like, both of my kids they cycle, like, they still like the same things, but it cycles in and out, if that makes sense. So they'll like something and then they don't play with it for a while, and then a few months later they'll start liking it again. So but he likes to do Legos, and I do want to make him instead of a desk, a Lego table. It would still work as a desk, but it would be longer, and I use those plastic little drawers with the wheels for Lego storage because I used to have them in tote, and it was very heavy and very hard for him to get out to play with. So I switched that so that way that's the little tote right there. If you look in the middle, that's Legos, but that way he could wheel it out when he wants to play with Legos, and he can take them in the living room and build or whatever. But it's much nicer. No, they're not the cutest, but they function really well for that. But I'm also one that I've always had them like kind of organize their things by like category. So like I use these little bins a lot in his room because he has some things that are really small. Like he has Hot Wheels tracks, he has Beyblades, Lego, fidgets, all those things, and then I'll organize them. 3D printed things by that in that bin, so that way whenever he wants something, he puts it back where it was, and then he knows where to look for it, so he doesn't pour everything out to try to find one toy. I've done that for both of my kids since they were little. It just kind of helps cut down on the mess. And then once you teach them how to pick it up and put it back where it goes, it helps. And you saw that mess, and here I am saying it helps. But we had gotten to the point where we needed to go back through, declutter, and reorganize his room and just make it work better. Because I feel like every so often, like even though something did work, it doesn't always stay working long term. So that's what we had hit. We had hit a wall. So we're going to go through and get it decluttered and manageable again for him, because I feel like he was struggling, but he loves his new bed, and I think it looks really great in here. I was going to get him some new sheets and things, but then it dawned on me that these are older and they're actually still made out of cotton, so I'm going to wait until I save up some money and I can buy cotton sheets again, because I don't like the way the microfiber ones feel, and he doesn't either. So I'd rather have the cotton, and they do cost a little bit more, but I'm going to wait, save my money, and get some matching sheets eventually. But I did get some new pillowcases to kind of match with the quilt, but I really love the way it turned out. He wanted a lamp, and I had this one. I used to use it at work in my area, and it was pink. It was brown. I painted it pink, but I will paint it back brown or whatever color I have, or whatever color he chooses if I need to buy spray paint, and get that situated in here. I do need to go back and fill some holes and kind of touch up paint. We'll get that done in the next week or so, just as time allows. But I really like the way this room turned out. This is where I want to make a Lego table that goes from that door to the closet, and the little rolly dressers or whatever you want to call them, the plastic ones, can roll under them, so that way he can use it for Lego if he wants, or he can use it for Beyblades or whatever he wants to play with at that moment. I do need to go through and work in his closet, but we're not going to get there today. I worked half of the room. We're going to come back and work the other half. I do have the wood, though, I think, to make the Lego table. I may take it to my mom's and see if she'll help me rip it down on her table saw, because they're 2x6s and I want that rounded corner cut off. And I may end up recruiting my dad to help too. I don't know. Whoever's more confident with the table saw. So for now, I'm going to move my daughter's old desk in here just because I don't like the glass top one. So get that moved in here for now. It'll work a little better, and I have somewhere to put his lava lamp that won't burn the house down. So I'm really happy with the way his room turns out, and he is too. So like I said, we have some more things that we need to go through and finish decluttering and make work better. The Lego area, and I do want to go through his closet. To be honest, all those bins at the bottom are empty, so I plan on getting rid of them. But so anyways, I'm going to get this vacuumed, and then we're going to have an overlook. And I really like the way it turned out. And most importantly, he likes it, so I love it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you're at. Remember, today is a blessing, and I hope I see you on the next one. Bye, guys.